A very good morning and welcome to our Rugby World Cup update brought to you live from England. This morning the ABSA Red Bus, ABSA member of Barclays, is in the southwest London suburb of Richmond, and we're at their rugby club, which is rich in history, having been formed back in 1861, and it was also one of the founding members of the Rugby Football Union. Yes, the organisers of rugby here in England. It's great to be in your company. It is T-minus 9.5 hours before the very first quarter-final between South Africa and Wales here at the Rugby World Cup. Now the stats, they completely favour South Africa. Many will say that history doesn't count for anything when you look at knockout matches, but this is what it looks like. The head-to-head, they've played 30 times, drawn just one. Wales only winning 2 matches. The very first victory there coming back in 1999. They then had to wait 15 years before that other victory in 2014. Last match in Wales, a victory for the Welsh. Last match in South Africa, a victory for the Springboks. However, that was a very, very close match. And it's those last 2 results which would have caused coach Hanneke Meyer some sleepless nights. The team, however, were looking in confident. They were in a confident mood when we saw them at the captain's run yesterday at Twickenham. Our camp correspondent Simon Burke was there, and he brings us the latest now from the Springbok camp.
And so the Springboks arrive at Twickenham. So far in this Rugby World Cup, they've played at a few churches to football, but now they're at a cathedral to rugby.
They're also very much a game line team. They like to rush you on the fence. They've got very big backs. So quite a bit of an aerial battle will go on. So yeah, that's probably what they've showed against England and Australia. It is a challenge for us to face those things, but like they said, we've prepared well for that, and hopefully we can go and execute tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
There's a lot of energy in the team. If it's nervous energy, it's still energy, and we just need to put that in a positive direction. And if all 23 just move in one direction, we're happy with that. And yeah, we had a good off day yesterday, and training went well now. So yeah, all preparations done. Now we just need to go out and go play our game in the way we want to play, and the way we want to execute our game plan.
It's a mouth-watering quarter-final contest. There's so much on the line. It's a match that will certainly define Hanneke Meyer's tenure as Springbok coach. There's also the little matter of putting to bed that quarter-final in Wellington against Australia 4 years ago. I'm Simon Burke, bringing you the latest from the Springbok camp.
And if all goes according to plan for the Springboks, then they won't play at another ground at the Rugby World Cup here in England. Semi-final will take place at Twickenham, as well as the final for the contest. The ABSA Red Bus, ABSA member of Barclays, is parked at the Richmond Rugby Club. And it's a club, as I mentioned, that's rich in history. The very first match that ever took place at Twickenham featured the Harlequins and, yes, Richmond Rugby Club. And that was back in 1909. Matt Messina went to the Twickenham Rugby Stadium to chat to the groundsman yesterday, and we'll be bringing you that in a short while, so you've got to stay with us. First, though, let's bring you up to speed with the latest news. Ireland coach Joe Schmidt is adamant that picking Jonathan Sexton for tomorrow's Rugby World Cup 2015 quarter-final against Argentina is not a calculated risk. Sexton was forced off in the first half of last weekend's Pool D decider after damaging his groin. Schmidt has been forced into 3 changes from the side that beat France last weekend. Chris Henry takes over from Sean O'Brien. Geordie Murphy replaces Peter O'Mahony, and Ian Henderson comes into the second row at the expense of injured captain Paul O'Connell. Argentina are promising to dazzle like Lionel Messi against Ireland in tomorrow's quarter-final. The scrum half Martin Landajo said, football in Argentina is like that. We have the best players in Messi and Maradona, but 4 years ago Argentina didn't play rugby like that, and we've tried to change it. And finally, fans have really got behind the partnership between the United Nations World Food Programme and World Rugby called Tackle Hunger. Ticket buyers have already raised enough for 1 million meals. You can find out a little bit more by going to rugbyworldcup.com/tackle hunger if you would also like to get involved in their efforts to stop world hunger. All right, it's time now for us to take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
ancient culture carried to these shores a lifetime ago, fusing, merging, growing to transcend lines, cultures and sound, embodied in a voice that speaks to you without forgetting. Do you listen to it? Lotus FM shared the experience.
SABC brings to you Rugby World Cup 2015.
Back to the Richmond Rugby Cup as we bring this Rugby World Cup update to you live. The ABSA Red bus is parked here at the Richmond Rugby Club, which is going to be hosting a Bucktown. Yes, a Bucktown, but here in England, because this rugby club is just 3 kilometres from Twickenham. Earlier this week, Mac Messina and myself went to the home of Saracens at Alliance Park, and we were there for a very important Legends match. It was the Legends representing the J9 Foundation, that's Joos van der Westhuizen's foundation, which is doing fantastic work when it comes to motor neuron disease, going up against the Hambo Legends. Those are the Legends representing the Matt Hampson Foundation. Take a look.
I had my accident 10 years ago, playing rugby for England in the 21s. I hit a scrum, the scrum collapsed and basically took the weight of both packs on the back of my neck, and I broke my neck and it left me paralysed from the neck down, unable to breathe out the aid of a ventilator. I think it's just a credit to the Hampson Foundation and Joos van der Westhuizen's J9 Foundation. It's just unbelievable how the guys keep supporting me and Joos in everything that we do, and it just shows you what a great family rugby is. My foundation inspires and supports young people seriously injured through sport, and it's not just the individuals but it's their families. So after they've had a serious injury through sport, we want to inspire them to move on with their lives and to get busy living. I haven't got any resentment of rugby at all. Rugby gives me more now than what it did before my accident. The support that I've received from all sort of generations of rugby has just been overwhelming, and rugby still looks after me now.
It's part of rugby DNA to give back and to support each other. We were supporting each other during the games while we were playing for our countries, and now it's part of helping others who are in a really bad situation, and Matt and Josh are one of them, and is our brothers. I'm lucky to be captain of this amazing team, and I hope we're going to show a lot of passion to support the great cause.
It's all about seeing their happy faces when we help them. We have a campaign where we help the families, most of them their last wishes, moments of magic. We ask them what they want to do for the last time, so we take them to the sea, Victoria Falls. They must create memories and really go out and just live their life, because there's so many people that stay at home that don't want to go out because they're afraid of people.
If you could pick out one memory, what would it be that you hold most dear to you?
He said the last 5 years he learned more about life just to help other people. And that's his highlight in his life. All the players come here to play for free. And he's very thankful for Matt Hampson's help as well.
Oh, absolutely brilliant spirit, and you just get reminded of that when you get to see those legends all coming out in support of such a great cause, and as you have said, all on their own cost, just because they're part of this bigger rugby family. To date, the J9 Foundation, Joos van der Westhuizen's foundation, has helped 90 families, over 90 families that they're struggling with this battle with motor neuron disease. So really doing brilliant work, as is the Hambo Foundation, which helps those people that have that have suffered severe and catastrophic sports injuries that have changed their lives, and they just help them to continue living. All right, let's bring the focus back onto rugby and this little deal that we've got later today, this little matter of a quarter-final, South Africa up against Wales in just 9.5 hours' time. It's going to be taking place at a Fortress for Rugby. It's the biggest rugby-built stadium, and that's Twickenham, a capacity of 82,000. Mac went to go and find out from the groundsman what is happening and how it's looking.
We've set our stall out so that we'll work late this evening, we'll be in early tomorrow, prep the pitch, and then we'll play the game tomorrow. Tomorrow night we will divot the pitch, cut the pitch in 2 directions, divot it again if we need to, and then get in early on Sunday morning and prep the pitch up ready to go again. Double cut it, mark it out, and by the time the second game kicks off, you won't know there's been a game here the day before. If it's raining, it's more miserable, and the grass doesn't cut as well because the grass is wet. And if there is any debris during the game, it doesn't pick up in the mower bag as quickly as it does if it's dry. So we like dry days to play rugby. And Sunday night, we will bring in our lighting rigs. We've got 10 big lighting rigs which recover the pitch, which warms the pitch up, which encourages the grass to grow quicker than normal. So by Sunday night, 9 o'clock, the pitch will be in recovery, getting ready for next week's semi-final on the Saturday. Player safety comes first. That's the biggest thing, and we make sure that there's no divots, no potholes, and there isn't on a Deso pitch. The same as in any sport, the best team always win, the rest is gossip.
Well, the players got a touch of the ground yesterday, and I hope that Bryan Habana took a look at the 2 try lines, because we're all hoping that he does go over either in the first or the second half so that he can become the Rugby World Cup all-time top try scorer. But for Bryan Habana, he says that all focus is just on beating the Welsh. How does he measure up the clash? Let's find out.
Going into this game against Wales, we know how hurt they are after last weekend's loss against Australia. We know after having played against them a couple of times over the last year, how much pride they play with, how much passion they play with, and how difficult they are to play against. Injuries aside, I think they're a team that's willing to push any team to the limits, and we know that this coming Saturday is going to be no different. They're going to be a team that's going to want to grind it out for a very long period of time, and we got to be prepared, for a physical intensity that we haven't experienced yet over the last 3 weeks.
And Bryan Habana has been there many times in knockout rugby, but what do those that have also played the game and now retired have to say, and what do they say about South Africa's chances up against Wales? Well, we found out.
In the front row, that's where we can put a lot of pressure on them, especially at scrum time. And then, we've got Bismarck du Plessis, Dwayne Vermeulen, Francois Lowe and Skalkberger that are very good over the ball. And they probably only have Sam Warburton that needs to counter all 4 of those guys. So if those guys can be spot on and not give penalties away, because I think that discipline has been a little bit of an issue in terms of the interpretation of some of the referees. And Wayne Barnes, as a referee, he's very to the letter of the law. So the guys have got to be very clear that they understand the way Wayne Barnes is going to officiate. And but I think we should have enough there to slow them down and to turn over crucial ball.
I think if we, is key to our game plan and to executing that game plan. But a lot of young, exciting guys in the squad, and Ludi Ocker playing well, Damien Allen, Jesse Creel playing well, Dwayne starting to play well, Francois Lowe starting to play well. So all good. It should be a good weekend.
There's no doubt it's going to be tough, but South Africa are most definitely the favoured team, not only by former South African internationals, but also by former internationals from around the world that we chatted to early on in the week.
24-17. I certainly think it'll be still a hell of a tough match for South Africa.
It's going to be a battle of the singing Shosholoza and the Wales songs.
I just think the South Africans are just going to be too strong.
True. The box.
I think when it comes to the singings, the South African fans will win hands down. This is how we conclude our Rugby World Cup update for today. Kick-off for the match, the quarter-final, South Africa up against Wales. Is the very first Rugby World Cup quarter-final in South Africa. It kicks off at 5 o'clock. You'll be able to watch that match live on SABC 2. Until we meet again, goodbye.